Alright, I'm just popping in for a minute. My first attempt at a live tonight had no audio, and then my computer did like a half-hour restart, and then my yarn bumped some key here, and it just ended the live. You know, usually like it's like, you sure you want to end the live? And you gotta be like, yes. No, not when my yarn touched it, apparently. So, a friend of mine is currently gonna be going live in a little bit. Oof, words, and that's how the day has been. So, I'm gonna watch this. We're gonna just crochet a little bit, but this video was recommended.
You don't like them, and none really. I think a masculine smile is.
And
Yes. Yes.
it's just a cute little video.
You're the person who wants the best for you. Not anyone who you feel that you need their validation. It doesn't matter what they think. Okay, cool. Thank you for the validation. What doesn't matter is you.
Who do you think that you are? That it matters what people think of you. You're no one. There's no one home.
I think I hate myself. I don't think I'm a bad person or anything like that. I think there are things about me that make my life miserable, but that I can't really seem to fix. And,
hi, I'm Tilek. I'm auditioning for the role of Handsome Doctor. Okay.
like I do this thing sometimes where I let the way other people feel about me define how I feel about me, which is really hard at times when you don't get the most positive feedback.
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I just don't like you as a person.
You're just, I don't know, ass. I'm the ass. What kind of feedback is that?
It's weird to say, but it's like I'm constantly looking for myself through other people, as though I need someone else to tell me who I am.
Yeah, it's an aura thing.
No, an aura thing?
It's an aura thing. It gives like a limp dick energy to me.
What?
Limp dick
How is that
energy.
professional?
I'm not sure why exactly I'm like this, but I know I'm tired.
I'm gonna start using that.
I know I want
Oh
to
my
change.
gosh.
Okay. I'll leave. You don't want me. Okay, I get it.
My bad.
I want to transform myself into someone who doesn't need anyone's approval ever again.
Alright, you know what? Screw you guys.
Oh. Big boy, look at him.
Yeah, get out of here, ho. Get out of here, ho.
Get out of here, ho.
And I know that it's possible. I know I'm not alone. All over New York City, lost souls look for love, for admiration, for anything, to just feel a little more okay. But some people seem to have figured out a thing or two. They have kind of a glow to them, a certain kind of shine you get when you don't care about anyone's approval. You're you, and that's enough.
I like the street interviews that he does.
But how do they do it? How do they just not care?
Okay, yeah, but it wasn't that bad. I think you were fine.
I'm not him, alright? I'm not the guy that they want.
Who is the guy? Who is the guy that they want? Who's the guy that you want to be? Come on, there's plenty more shit out there that you can go through.
I wish I could just stop them on the street and ask them to help me.
So, you good? Cool?
Yeah, I'm good.
Tilek, come on. Tilek.
The casting directors were just kind of like, you suck, and were really mean. And it got me thinking about like just the idea of like approval in general, and I realized that I'm someone who's like very much a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Like I rely on like making sure that people like me and stuff.
You know, this is a city of gatekeepers where most of the people in the high ranks, you know, they're kind of wicked, and that's just it. So you just gotta let those words, you know, bounce off. Be like Neo in the Matrix and Doc. It's not bullets though, it's words. You know what I mean? You kind of need haters to make it. So feel like that might have been good for you, actually. You know what I mean? That initial like breaking zone, because like if you're lifting or doing.
I'm ass.
I just don't like you as a person. Just don't like you as a person.
If I'm being honest, the start of my journey was a little rocky. The first few folks I talked to didn't really seem to understand how they work themselves.
I don't know. Maybe my parents gave me that freedom to discover who I wanted to be early.
Must be nice.
Personal, just how each person is built.
And while some showed me some compassion,
Things like we just don't like your vibe and stuff like that.
I still felt like I was missing out on real answers. I needed concrete, actionable pieces of advice. And after scouring the city for what seemed like forever, I finally started to get somewhere.
But again, like they were just harsh. They were like kind of mean and rejected me. And I'm trying to figure out just how to.
You gotta punch them with your cheeks.
How do I do that?
Your bottom teeth, and you bring them out, and you rest them on your lip, your upper lip. And I learned this from Cuomo. Once I realized that, if you do that, that will give you all the power in the world. Thing is this.
Como taught him how to smile.
If you look at it as a man, it looks stupid because it looks like you're trying to be cute. And then what are you? You're just gay. Well, right? Like happy, right? You see now you're
Okay, like happy, okay. I was like, what the fuck?
Here's the thing, yes. That's much better.
And honestly, it was much better. Something about
No,
carrying
thank you.
myself that
It's a
way,
no for me on
holding
that.
my jaw at such an angle filled me with the kind of confidence I didn't know I had. I became something of a sponge, absorbing the many and unique ways people free themselves from external
Juggling's
validation.
cool.
I learned that some regularly practice a kind of internal detachment.
I was whatever would do to make anybody happy, I would be. I would do that. Tell me what you need me to be, and I'll be that. It was like selling your soul.
That's me.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You can get to a place where you can just like kind of watch all that shit happening without like logging into it, where you're like now kind of detached. And then that's the part where your power steps in. I'm not what my mind is bringing up about the past or about the future or even about the present. I'm the one who's watching all this shit happening. You kind of start to realize that the whole world, we're all projecting on each other. That's the honest truth. Even with like your audition, they were projecting. That's all that was. They were just projecting.
Nobody else is cheering me on, you know what I mean? You're your best cheerleader. You're the person who wants the best for you. You. Not anyone who you feel that you need their validation. It doesn't matter what they think. Okay, cool. Thank you for allowing me. It doesn't matter. It's you. I wake up in the morning and maybe I'm feeding myself this tall coffee of it's all going to be okay. It's all, and I keep pushing it forward, and there might not be no back end to it, but you can't not try. You just can't. It's a guaranteed loss if you don't try, but if you try, there's actually a good chance you're going to do it.
So you can't never be happy, you can't never have enough, you're constantly concerned and overwhelmed with other people's bad energies. It's the ego. And it will find something to identify with, even if it's a sickness. Our true identity is revealed to us through charity. We had gone around Manhattan handing out socks, boxers, food. We're going to each other, hey, we need a bigger duffel bag. And Kalita says, yeah, I need a pair of shorts. Now, a few minutes later, right, this is what we hear. Hey guys, God brought me down here to give this to someone, and I feel like it's you. Excuse me? What does he hand me? He hands me a black Nike duffel bag. I said, yo, we was just talking about needing a duffel bag. Guess what I pull out? A pair of black shorts. I said, yo, she just said she needed a pair of shorts. What the...
Take a walk around, look around, kind of try to see the world in a different way. When you're walking in the streets, you see a very like capitalist view. You see all these big name brand stores, but kind of take a different view.
How should I approach, like looking at things today?
I like this viewpoint too.
Look to see, I guess, the kindness in the world.
It's important. I focus really locally. Because if I look at the national news, I'm gonna crash.
We're in New York City.
I'm gonna crash and I'm gonna fucking burn.
Look around, you'll find it.
And how do you think that would help?
You gotta,
like looking for
I don't know, look, like you say, just like look around at what's around you and There's
and,
lovely people.
Bring hope.
There's lovely people who all just want the same things
Did I still
that we all
struggle with
want.
approval from time to time?
They said that I smell bad. They said I can't act, that I'm not handsome.
Sure, but I was feeling great, powerful, different. I realized at the tail end of my
He's meeting
conversation
really
that there
sweet
was a
people,
common
it
piece of
seems
advice
like.
I kept on receiving.
It's at least good.
I would just say, you know, to try and find friends that share your views. I found people that feel the same way. And that's what I'm trying to do, just finding the right place to be, the right place to grow.
Find people who accept
That's
you.
so much
If you
easier
focus on
said
those
than
people,
done, though.
You'll be happy.
Do you feel like you found
There's
your
nowhere to
people?
really meet
I do.
people.
How did you go about that? Was it through like work,
Just random
school?
encounters.
Random encounters, must be lucky.
So, I was gonna make myself some real
But
friends.
the hope is that
wasn't
if
gonna do
you're
it just
out
any
there
old
and
way.
you're being your
I
most
wanted to be
authentic
firing on all
self,
cylinders.
that the
Finding
people
all
that
the
you
advice
do
I found
encounter,
are true.
one, they're going to meet the real you, right? You're not going to be people
To not only
pleasing
find a
or
friendship that allows
anything.
me to be myself,
And
but also
ideally,
examine
that you're
just
going to
how
meet
much
people
I've
who do
truly
like you for
changed.
you, rather than,
How much have I really
you know,
grown?
whatever they hope to gain from you, or, you know, whatever version of yourself that you're giving that isn't your most genuine self. It's hard, though.
Excuse me?
People come and
You
go.
want this book? It's for free. It's a book. It's one of my favorites.
Book for free, okay, but I can't read.
You can't read.
I'm fucked up in English, sorry. I don't know. To get in and get out from here. Get in here and
But
get out.
you're talking to me now, you know? That's good
You
enough.
think I'm talking about it? It's about to help you.
I mean, I could sit down with you. We could go through the book together if you want. I can't really speak Albanian though. Is the
I
thing.
can speak China.
I'm just trying
He's
to, like,
speaking English.
trying to
What
make
the
friends
fuck?
out here. If you want to like grab. Oh, it's just an Italian soap. I don't know. I don't know why I have it, but
From Asia you are.
It's so weird, he's just giving out soap.
Japanese.
I'm not Japanese. No.
Where? North? South Korea?
Dude, I feel like I don't really have an ego. You know? You have one? No.
Where? Malaysia?
He's just
Not
chatting
from
up
Malaysia.
randoms on the street. I love it.
Not from Vietnam. You want to get lunch after that?
I mean, I had like a half-hour conversation with someone at the coffee shop down the road the other day.
From like
Just sitting there
You
yapping.
feel that way too?
It's nice. It's nice to just talk to people.
Yeah, just trying to make friends. You know, what's your name? Louis? I'm Tilek. I'm Tilek. Yeah, nice to meet you. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
I felt like a loser.
Yeah.
I wanted to apply the lessons I learned, and, well, if this were a test, I think I failed.
That's when you gotta follow up with like, oh, I think we could like,
Not Filipino.
you know, have a nice time hanging out. Can I get your number? Or like, would you want to grab coffee sometime?
This book, dude. It's for free.
Coco,
Yeah, history of sexuality.
I don't have that one.
Take it. It's all yours.
Thank you.
Want to get lunch sometime? Or all right.
And it felt terrible. You know, here I am, giving myself away, and still getting rejected. I thought I could make some friends without it somehow reflecting on my sense of self-worth, but who am I kidding?
Yeah.
I'm an eternal people pleaser and a desperate, empty vacuum that will never change, no matter how hard I try.
I think people pleasing might be the wrong word
Happiness
though.
isn't for me, because I'm broken.
Like, there's a difference in people pleasing and like caring about the people around you.
I was done. My little transformation journey was over, and I was on my way out of the park when I suddenly heard a mysterious chanting in the distance. I followed the sound and found a lady sitting alone on a bench. She seemed calm, almost otherworldly, and after hearing my story, this is what she had to say.
Everybody's answer to whatever is happening to them is in them if they can hear it.
helps you do that?
Namyo Renge-kyo is like calling the God in you, calling it forward, and it will tell you. It will tell you what you needed to know in that moment. Nam-myoho Renge-kyo.
Nam-myoho Renge-kyo.
Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. Nam-myoho Renge-kyo.
Nam-myoho Renge-kyo.
Naturally, I wanted to give it a shot, and I was having a bit of trouble at first.
It's just something about you. Get out of
I mean, even meditation or journaling can be nice if like you actually use it as a tool
You admit certain things
to work on
yourself you're not willing to
things.
admit. I feel like that's when you start to break through.
Yeah. Nam-myoho Renge-kyo.
You think you've fallen in love before with other people, but there's nothing like the love that comes from yourself.
Really?
And when you
Yeah, that validation has to come from within. No one's ever gonna give that to
it makes
you.
it so much more easier for it to kind of pour out of you into others.
And right then and there, it felt like I had awoken from a deep slumber. It was clear to me that I've been using this whole journey of change as a way of avoiding the real truth. I don't love myself. I don't even really like myself.
It's sad.
And while we're at it, I don't think I actually care about acting. I mean, it's not even a real job.
I mean, it is. They're one of like the biggest unions in existence.
I think I just thought if I could become a somebody on the stage, then maybe I'd stop feeling like a nobody when I'm off it. I tried to
Valid.
think about what loving myself would even look like, but the task seemed impossible. I don't even love that many things. Like, I love baklava.
Ooh, baklava's fucking awesome. I mean, maybe you could be as good as
After a few more hours of
baklava.
pondering, but getting nowhere, I started to wonder if maybe it would help to dig into my past for some answers. I decided to travel to my childhood home where my earliest opinions of myself formed.
Travel to my childhood
I
home.
first tried looking at photos of myself as a kid to see if I was this internally empty back
Oh, his
then.
dad looks sweet.
But surprisingly, I seemed like quite a confident and bold young man.
Aww.
What happened? I then talked to my dad to see if maybe he had some insight on my issues from his perspective.
So, yeah, do you think that maybe I'm kind of having these issues looking for validation as an adult because maybe when I was younger, as a kid, I was looking for approval from you?
No, actually he was not looking approval from me or from anybody. You're just following your goal, and it doesn't matter what other people tell you. If you like something, you just go for it.
That maybe, you know, I wanted approval from mom, or when I was a kid looking for that. Did you notice anything?
Actually, I don't recall, no. I don't remember that, no. No.
But unfortunately, that didn't seem to lead me anywhere either.
So you finish acting, so
You finish
hopefully you're gonna
acting?
be a doctor, right? No, you can be a doctor, right?
Oh.
So, I was ready to give up.
I mean, the acting role was for a doctor, but he didn't get that.
Even more lost than I was before, and a little bit hungry. I was on my way when out of nowhere, I heard my dad call after me. He then proceeded to open up in a way that I've never, ever seen before.
I like the energy of this video.
My soul has been searching to rest in all my life.
It feels old. I don't know
Just like
why.
that, I had arrived at an answer to my problems. And boy, did it feel good.
I'm glad that you came here to talk and ask about your childhood self. You were always a curious boy. The real reason you have this problem with needing validation from others is because you are kind-hearted at core, and you just want to make sure everyone around you is A-okay. That's not a bad thing at all.
That's sweet.
You have it all twisted. As a man who has been in Earth for many years now, I can tell you from experience that you're exactly where you are supposed to be. You have already found your answer. You are not a people pleaser. You are actually just a good person. And that is something to be admired for. And lastly, you don't need to my validation or mom's validation or anyone's validation, and you don't need anyone's approval to be who you are. We actually all need yours. Keep killing it, my G.
I would break down if my parents said that to me. Holy shit. That's so sweet. Let's see. Cure my fear of abandonment. Please help me. Oh, you're not gonna come on. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. We're crashing. We're burning.
That says, this guy appreciates wild-caught Alaskan fish. And a second
What the fuck, ad block?
This guy would like another.
How dare you?
2 for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meat.
Ew.
I almost got hit by a car. Hold on to the good things. Watch the lift.
Is this sort of like a cycle for you? You get like too invested, too overly attached, and then like.
Let me get that beer and sing the song for you. Give me that beer. Let me sing this about it. You gotta be like, buddy, guess what? I love you. You love me. Let's be together like.
Hey Mom, so recently my best friend Logan moved out and is now living with his girlfriend Carol, and it's been really nice. I've struggled with change and people exiting my life in the past, but lately I've just been feeling, I don't know, like zen, I guess. Yeah, I figure him and Carol could use a visit and a little housewarming gift, so I'm gonna surprise him with the other friend he left behind.
He left behind his teddy bear to move in with his girlfriend. What? I feel like these stitches that I've been doing look really fugly. It's like too loose. I don't know.
On my way, I got to talking to two strangers who were curious about my bear, and as it turns out, had some advice for me.
The best advice I could give you, let him know how you feel. You know, you're his best friend. You need him, because everybody needs a best friend.
That's kind of the effort I was trying to make with this bear. It's like, hey man, like I care about you. You don't think this bear's gonna work?
He's got a girlfriend. Don't be bringing other women around.
I don't know, maybe it would, maybe it won't work, but let him know your feelings, how you feel, how you miss him.
Yeah, it's important to let people know how you feel in the moment and at the time, because otherwise, like, you never know. You never know. Maybe you don't get to tell them those things anymore. And I feel like it's worse to think about, like, how much you cared about someone and not being able to tell them that than feel silly for telling someone.
Be honest about something and tell my friend how I really feel about the whole thing.
Hey, Logan, what's up? Well, like, hey, how's it, you doing? Good. Well, there, yours, wanted to bring it back, housewarming gift, you know, you bought this for me? What do you mean? No, this is yours, you left it at the, I mean, yeah, I left it at the apartment because it's not mine. What do you mean, your bear? You think this, you remember you got this at the fair? No, this is your bear. I wouldn't buy this for myself, it's kind of stupid to buy it for myself, you know what I'm saying? It's cute, something maybe I'll have to buy it for someone else. I would,
No!
Right, you should actually probably
It's a bit. It's a bit. It's a bit. I gotta remind myself it's a bit. This is bumming me out.
You and John and Carol just like hanging out. I mean, Carol's really busy most of the time, so me and John have been hanging out a lot. Mostly just us. You're living with him. Carol, look, he's wearing a Budweiser shirt.
The blank stare into the camera.
Are we best friends? I came first. You say this isn't your man, and I went to because I don't like you. That is what you said. I just want to remind you of our friendship. I don't remember our friendship, and I don't want the bear. This is not my bear. I don't know where you got. I don't want the bear. Just you know, just go home.
It's a bit. It's a bit.
You take the bear with you.
That's devastating, though.
Just be a therapist. Just get out.
Is this a filter or like a really old camera that they're using? How are they getting this look? I love it.
With my friend didn't really go super well, but yeah, I don't know. I was just sort of left with I'm just sort of left with
a fake black eye putting concealer on. Oh my god.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, Mom. I don't know. Kind of just need some advice, you know. And I wish you would call me back, but I don't know. I feel like I just really need to talk to someone.
I mean, they did say get a therapist.
I don't know what happened, what I said to him, but he was insulted, you know? And I've just been feeling kind of bad because he was my best friend. And
first thing is like what I hear is very bad. I'm sorry for that. And if really he is your best friend, he should understand you. First he should listen to you.
You're saying that he shouldn't have
Yeah, he's not acting like a best friend. I was friends with this girl for a couple years, and it reached a point where like I was going to a lot of therapy to like learn better communication and better boundaries and just learning to advocate for myself after a bad situation. And I told her, I was like, hey, and it was like right after we had hung out, I reached out to her. I was like, hey, like things kind of felt really off. This is how I felt about it. And I really needed to let you know and communicate that. And it torpedoed our entire friendship. Just imploded. Simply from me being like, hey, you were like an hour late to hang out with me. And it felt really shitty. And then like the whole time, like it didn't really seem like you wanted to hang out. So like if you didn't want to hang out, just you can say that. Like please don't be shy to say that. That's, you know, I'd appreciate if you communicated that. Imploded everything. So like I get that, you know, there is a bit of a fear of abandonment, like, and it's hard to meet people as an adult. I moved around so much. I don't have people that like I went to kindergarten with or even high school with. I went to 4 different high schools. So it's just one of those where like that would fuck me up if a friend like was like, get out of here, I don't want to talk to you anymore. That would totally wreck me.
He apologized to you? How did you get him to apologize?
Actually, without knowing, like, he also don't.
Well, you don't get someone to do something. They need to simply do it because they want to.
But when he came to know that there was weed in that, and my health was not good, so he apologized for that. He told me that I want to confess something in front of you, and I'm really sorry for that. What happened to you? Whenever I call him, he says,
I need to buy more aloe.
Intentionally, I did not do that.
It's like an awesome drink.
Did you enjoy the chocolate?
Oh, at that time I enjoyed, but it affected my metabolism.
Yeah.
That time he took me to the hospital. Very next day I got some problem in my stomach and he took me to the hospital. And doctors told me that you have taken marijuana.
And you're still friends today?
Yeah, we are friends. We are good friends.
Tilek.
Tilek.
Only best friend I ever had in my life.
was a guy named Wang Young. We grew up together. I knew his mom, his father. I slept over his house. I ate with him and whatnot. And he gave me $100,000 cash. I made around the corner, came back, gave it back to him. That's what we call a good friend.
I'm trying to get rid of this bear now because it reminds me of him, you know?
Yeah, what you do with the bear, keep it. So every time you see the bear, you think about him. You're not a friend, but the bear is your best friend.
It hurts my heart.
Listen, you cannot cry over spilled milk. For one woman, I got one woman. I got that part. There's so many females out here. Why do I care about one lady? She was married. She got 2 kids. She's not bringing nothing to the table.
You think she misses you?
She called me today. I mean, I don't know.
She called him today.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with her.
And guess what? She's out there still fucking somebody.
Just like my friend, he moved on. He's with that other guy now.
It don't matter. Move on,
I was feeling better already, but far from even thinking of moving on. And it was nice to know I wasn't the only one with problems. But I wanted to roam the streets a little longer. Maybe someone out there would get through to me.
It's life, baby. I do that. I'm from New York. So I lost love, lost friends, abandonment. I'm a foster child. You make yourself, no matter what. Do I feel like somebody's gonna leave me? Yeah, but I'm to the part now. It's 2 tears in the bucket. Fuck it, because ain't nobody gonna love me but me. If you want to be around me, you be around me. Don't worry about being abandoned. Worry about that you don't abandon nobody, but don't let nobody take a fool of you. It's a part of life. Everybody's here for a season. A season like a tree. When the leaves go, if it's meant to stay, they stay. If they not, they go. But you're supposed to learn a lesson.
It's like when they talk about like chasing somebody. If you're chasing somebody, they're running from you. They're running from you if you're chasing them. Stop chasing people. Friends included.
Why would God let me almost get hit by a car? Or I could be like, God saved my life because I would have gotten it. Because it's the same thing with that bear. You could say, look, man, it's just like the bear. He didn't want the bear. That bear represents kind of me. If he doesn't want the bear, then that's on him. Because at the end of the day, when you die, nobody dies with you. People don't jump in the thing with you, right? You were born alone.
I'm gonna need people to jump on my casket and try to be buried with me. Okay. I'm kidding. There won't be a burial or a casket.
And it's just like, what is all that for, really? Like.
So I'm like kind of Michael Jordan in this situation.
Oh, he's going on something against you?
Well, no.
Stop it. Get some help.
Acknowledge that at some point you won't feel the way you feel about it. Even death. My brother, he left us at he actually died at the age that I am now, at 38. He struggled with that for some time.
Terrifying.
But I just remember the lessons that I learned in his passing. When you feel, I think, a certain type of pain, you kind of want to stay away from it. Moving forward, you can't really escape that. I learned in my losses to appreciate the time that I had with things that are still in my life and the people who are still in my life.
But how can you appreciate anything when the sting of your bruised eye is overshadowed by the pain of your broken heart? When all you can see is the imprint of your old pal's fist flying towards your face. I was ready to call it a day when I decided last minute to stop by the park and clear my head.
I like these kinds of street interviews. I think he does a great job. I just found this channel today. I think it's terrific.
You have to realize that. The truth is that the more you're afraid of being abandoned, the more you will be. Because you're going to act like that, like a victim. So you have to do things that are the opposite of that for a while to be good to yourself.
And you just gotta not be afraid of losing people. You have people for the time that you have them in your life. They'll come, they'll go. If you try and cage them to keep them there, it's worse. It's so much worse.
Eventually I lost a lot of that out of fear. I got angry at other people for not supporting, the collectors, all this stuff. I look at the artists that make it, blah, blah, blah. Look at that basket, he could barely draw. I was with him in that period of art. It's all negative. Throw it all away. always be in the present, here and now. That's a good place. There's no thoughts coming into your head yet. Everything's now.
Do you feel like music brings you to that point?
It brings me into the now because I have to remember the words.
Right.
So that's simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes me out of thinking into a place that is just here and now. You can do whatever you
I like
want.
that a lot.
You're free. You're going to be going like this if you head the right way. And letting the troubles fall off you. Hold on to good things and watch them lift you. And I'm closer to the end than the beginning, which is okay. Don't even fear that.
How did you get to that place where you don't fear that?
The hard way, I think. But at least I went for things. I didn't sit back and dream about them. I actually did them, whatever they were. And even this seems ridiculous. And I got no support from people I know. You're going to look like a fool. I have a daughter. Jan. I can. I'm not afraid of what other people think I am. You're going to be okay. He's going to be okay.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
If I really want to get over this fear of abandonment,
Because it's kind
I
of
have to
true.
wake up and take
The
a
people
long
like
look
that
at
you
myself.
think will be the most supportive, they'll surprise you when they're not.
I've been so busy moping around about my friend leaving me behind that I didn't even notice I was doing the exact same thing to somebody else.
Alright, let's tie this one off.
I'm trying to get rid of this hair now because it reminds me of him, man.
Well, screw that. I'm not gonna be that kind of person anymore, Mom. I'm not a victim. I'm a god. I'm Michael Jordan. And I'm gonna be present here in the now. And damn it, I'm gonna appreciate the friend I had all along.
The bear. The bears.
Because he won't leave me. He can't.
Yeah, he literally can't.
He's not real. And you know what?
What a goober.
Neither am I.
Ghost. I loved it. I loved it. No, but like it's legitimate though. Like I had a business for a couple years and I loved it. I absolutely loved it and I loved every minute of it. However, I came to the honest conclusion that it was not viable in the long term. I would have either needed to jack up my prices, which I was vehemently against, or I would have needed to hire someone who was willing to work for less than what was deserved. You know, and both of those things went against my core beliefs. And I was very resolute, and I was just very accepting of when I was like, okay, this isn't gonna continue. I still do what I was doing in a much smaller capacity, and I do it more leisurely, and I do it in partnership with a nonprofit in my area as well. So it's different. It's not a business by any means, but I like it. I like it a lot, and I feel good about it. And I just remember when I first started it, the people around me, particularly like family and friends, they were like, okay, like good luck with that, you know. And one of the first things my youngest sister said to me, and granted, I've mentioned her before, she's 19, she's 18. When I started it, she was like 16. I give her a lot of grace because she's kind of fucking awful. But the first thing she said to me when I talked to her about it, and this was after like I set everything up, I was, LLC'd and everything like that, and I was actively taking in clients. She was like, well, what happens when you fail? Not like if, not even just, what happens when you fail? And so after a couple years, when I, kind of casually, I was like, yeah, no, I'm shutting it down. We're winding down. She's like, oh, so you failed. And she did something similar when I left my marriage. She was like, oh, so you failed your relationship. So I think it's important when you're looking at things like that to you don't look at it as a failure. It was something I'm passionate about. It's something that I still care a lot about and I still practice. And it simply wasn't available to me in that capacity. If I was rich, if I had the capital to get it to where it needed to be, where it would have been, self-sustaining, it wouldn't have. But I'm not. And it's one of those where it's like, this is my position. I can't do anything about it, and that's okay. At least I tried. I learned a lot, and I enjoyed what I did. And I just think that, even when it comes to, a fear of abandonment, these people are in your life. If they need to go, they need to go. And that's okay. I would rather be able to let someone go and feel okay with that than to cling to something or cling to someone who doesn't want to be there. Which is very, reminiscent of my marriage. Neither of us wanted to be there. So what were we clinging to? And even, they kind of did this whole song and dance at the end of the marriage, oh, I don't want this. And I was just like, yeah, you do. Trust me, give it a couple years. You'll agree. And they do. They fucking do. Because it wasn't it. So I like this. I really like this creator. I just found them earlier today. I like the interview style that they do. It's not the standard street interviews that we see now. But yeah, just something different. Just a lovely little pit stop. You're here now? Oh, hi. Hi, Miss Bugaboo. Unfortunately, I'm winding it down. I had a bunch of technical issues with the earlier stream. I was just popping in for a little bit. But I was working on the cardigan again. I hope you're having a nice evening and a good Thursday. But we are winding down. Let's see. We'll make it. So we just finished this video from an excellent creator who does these street therapies, and his name is Tilek. It's Tilek All Better. And he just terrific street interviews that feel like they're from the early 2000s or the 90s. Well, I'm glad that you popped in. You just got home from grocery shopping. No, I feel that. I was all over the place. The first couple, I started the stream a couple times and it crashed, and then my system didn't work, and it's just I was like, okay, we're gonna come in, we're gonna just do a little bit, so we're right at where I was hoping to. But Miss Bugaboo, I will be live on Friday, Saturday, probably maybe Sunday, but I'll talk to you soon. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, though, and have a good evening. All right, bye.